Welcome everyone! Apple has released iOS 15.7.1 to the iPhone 7 with build number 19H115. Now with the old iPhones, Apple is very good at slowing them down, so you may be hesitant to update. You may be thinking, is my iPhone going to slow down? So I have the iPhone 7 right here, as you can see, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of the brand new iOS 15.7.1 software, what's new, and is it worth updating to. So the new features, you may be excited, looking forward to something. Maybe you get a nice lock screen, the iOS 16 lock screen. No, this is not a update with any new features. Instead, it's a security fix update, okay? So this is the security content for iOS 15.7. The iOS 15.7.1 security content isn't out right now, but when it will be out, you're going to see current vulnerabilities are going to be fixed, WebKit vulnerabilities are going to be fixed. So that just means you can't get hacked as easily in Safari, your phone can't get hacked as easily. So if you do care about security on the iPhone 7, this is a small update, you might as well update to it. Well, a lot of people may be concerned that your phone's going to turn into a slug, so let's just run some quick tests, okay? Opening up apps like the settings, it doesn't feel any slower than opening up apps on iOS 15.7, okay? I used 15.7 on this guy, everything was perfectly smooth. Well, not perfect, but like pretty decent for the iPhone 7. On 15.7.1, I'm not noticing any slowdowns. Going through the sub-menus, everything is okay. And if I do a multitasking test where I open up, let's say, 5 apps, okay? So with iOS 13.2, if you opened up more than 5 apps, the first app wouldn't show up in multitasking, like the multitasking was broken. I open up 7 apps, and you can see the multitasking is perfectly fine. I mean, the summary is, if you game, your multitasking is going to be terrible, okay? So as long as you're using, social media and, basic apps, you're not really going to have any real issues with the multitasking. It's just when you open up a game that's really intensive, like Call of Duty, PUBG, then the multitasking just goes out the window. But that isn't an iOS 15.7.1 specific thing. It's really just all iOS firmwares. Now, the battery life, I did notice the phone did get quite hot after updating, and the best advice is after you update your phone, if it's feeling warm, don't use it, okay? Because when your phone's like really warm, then that's going to degrade the battery. Heat is not liked by batteries, and that will degrade the battery health. And speaking of battery health, if we go to battery and battery health, you can see I only have 81% battery health, but I'm not noticing, excluding after the update, I'm not noticing any overheating. Okay, so after the phone, I left it to be cool. On 15.7.1, there's no like the phone's getting really hot or the battery is crashing. Okay, so you don't need to worry about battery too much, but if you do use your phone a lot, with 81% maximum capacity, I'm only lasting 2.5, 3 hours, but that isn't really an iOS 15.7.1 problem. It's just I have enough battery, Yeah, I mean, I really need a battery replacement, but this isn't my daily driver. That's the reason why I haven't done that yet. It's just for testing in the videos. So if you do have a low maximum capacity, we're talking anything lower than 90%, you're not going to have the greatest battery, but that's just kind of why iOS 15 doesn't have the greatest battery. The iPhone 7 in general doesn't have the greatest battery. So if you're thinking, should I be updating to iOS 15.7.1? There's no real reason not to. If you have a specific reason you care about, then you know about it, then there's no real point of updating. This isn't an update which gives you new features, so if you don't care too much, if updating doesn't cause any issues personally for you, then you might as well update the software. But if you're going from like iOS 14 to like 15.7.1, expecting there to be a new lock screen or something like that, that is not available. Okay, this is just a security fix, a small security fix, and it doesn't cause any issues to the iPhone 7. So with that being said, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel and use Amazon, if you click on my Amazon affiliate link before you purchase something, I'll get a commission. Amazon usually takes. Bye bye.